This is the necklace that we're going to make. And this is the necklace in a few more color combinations. This last one was made with a variation of having a little backdrop added. So let's talk about the materials that we're going to need. For this necklace, you're going to need 26 4mm round beads or pearls, as well as 12 6mm bicone crystals. You're also going to need 11/0 Toho seed beads and 2 6 or 8 seed beads for the jump rings to go through. You're also going to need 4 jump rings, a clasp, and 2 lengths of chain about 7 inches long. So let's get started. I'm using a size 10 needle with 6-pound fire line, and I'm going to start at the other end of my thread with a stop bead. Just sort of tie it on there. Then I add 5 seed beads and 5 crystals in an alternating pattern, starting with seed bead, 5 of each. String that on. Then I want to go back through all of those beads again. To form a loop. Now that I've got my loop, I no longer need the stop bead, so I'll pull that off. And then I can tie a knot. Okay, next I'm going to go through the next seed bead. This is going to be the bottom, so before the bottom I'm going to add a pearl, a seed bead, and a pearl around here. So I add a pearl, seed bead, and pearl, 4mm, and go through the next seed bead. This is going to be the bottom, so this is where I'll add the drop. So I'll add pearl, seed bead, crystal, seed bead. String that on. And then I'll go back up through the crystal and the next seed bead. Add a pearl, seed bead, and pearl, and go through the next seed bead in the ring. So there we've created the drop, that's the bottom. Next, I'll add a 4mm pearl, seed bead, and pearl, and go through the next seed bead in the ring. Now here is we're going to make the extension of the sort of the Y shape. So I'm going to go through the next crystal, and we'll add a seed bead, pearl, seed bead, crystal, seed bead, pearl, seed bead. We string that on. And here I want to go back through this crystal that's in the ring and the next 4 beads that I just strung on. So I'm starting with a crystal and I'm coming out of the next crystal. And when I pull that tight, it kind of pulls the crystal around. I'm going to repeat that. Add a seed bead, pearl, seed bead, 6mm crystal, seed bead, pearl, seed bead. String that on. Flip this over so that I can repeat what I did before, which is going through the crystal and continuing until I'm coming out of the next crystal. Okay. We do that one more time. Seed bead, pearl, seed bead, crystal, seed bead, pearl, seed bead. String that on. And go through the last crystal, continue to the next crystal. Now we kind of do the same thing but with all pearls this time. So seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead. String that on. Flip this over so that I can go through the crystal and continue until I'm coming out of the middle pearl. Next, I put on 2 11-ohs, a 6 or 8 seed bead, and 2 more 11-ohs. I string that on. Flip it over so that I can go through this middle pearl here and all of the seed beads I just strung on. And then that should frame that pearl, and you have this large seed bead to put the jump ring through later. So I'm coming out of this seed bead, I'm going to go back through this pearl, and I'm going to kind of zigzag my way back through here. So I'm coming out of this pearl, I'm going to go through the next seed bead, pearl, seed bead, then through the crystal, then through the next seed bead, pearled seed bead, back through this crystal, going through the next seed bead, pearl, seed bead, through the crystal, through the next seed bead, pearl, seed bead, so now I'm back, ready to go through and do the same thing off of this crystal. So I'm coming out of this seed bead, I'm going to go through the crystal, seed bead and seed bead in the inner loop, and again through the next crystal. So we add a seed bead, pearl, seed bead, crystal, seed bead, pearl, seed bead. And we string that on. And like before, we want to go through the last crystal, continue through the next 4 beads we just strung on, coming out of the next crystal. Again, we put on a seed bead, pearl, seed bead, crystal, seed bead, pearl, seed bead, and we string that on. Flip this around so that we can go through the last crystal, continue to the next crystal. And repeat it the last time. Seed bead, pearl, seed bead, crystal, seed bead, pearl, seed bead. And we string that on. Flip that over so that we can go through crystal, seed bead, and continuing to the next crystal. Last time we do it with all pearls. So seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead. String that on. And we can flip this around so that we can go through the crystal and continue to come out the middle pearl. And flip this back around. Next, we put on 2 11-ohs, a 6 or 8 seed bead, and 2 11-ohs. We string that on. And we want to go through that pearl we're coming out of and all the seed beads that we just put on. And that's the large seed bead that we can put a jump ring through later. So now, like we did before, we're going to go back through the pearl. And we will zigzag our way back up until we get to here where we can tie a knot. So we start by going through seed bead, pearl, seed bead, through the crystal, through seed bead, pearl, seed bead, on this side, and through the crystal, through the seed bead, pearl, seed bead, through the crystal, and through seed bead, pearl, seed bead, and now we can go through this crystal here, And now this is where our original thread's coming out of. We can tie a knot. And we can snip that end. And after snipping the end, we have our center component here. And all we need to do is attach the chain on each side. So we take our jump ring and we open it. We feed it through the large seed bead. And then we feed one end of the chain on its last link also through the jump ring. And then we close it. And we'll repeat that on the other side. We open our jump ring, feed it through this large seed bead, take the other 7-inch chain, and it also attach that on its last link. And close it. So now we just need to connect the clasp on the other ends of the chain. We open our jump ring, and we feed it through the last link of the other side of that chain length and add the clasp. And close it. And then we just put a jump ring on this other end. Open our jump ring. Feed it through the last link of the chain. And close it. And so now we can use the clasp. And that is our finished necklace.